Welcome back to Spyro. I forget where we're going next. We only have a few levels left, and they're all kind of weird.
It's either Metropolis or the farm one. I don't remember which I did first. I forget what the farm one's called, but we'll find out. Robotica Farms, that's what it's called.
I guess we're going to robotic farms.
Yup. This one's weird. You have to fight giant bugs.
What?
It's almost like a robot farm.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I just got it! Like the bugs, like computer bug. Oh my gosh!
This kind of strikes me as like something you'd see in the Fallout universe pre-apocalypse. Or post-apocalypse, depending on whether you consider the bugs important to the picture.
Depends. Was Black Mesa involved?
I don't know if they were involved in this game. Farmer Green Bean.
How do you know who we are?
Yeah, you know what? For some reason, I'm getting serious New Vegas vibes from this robot. Because, like, one of the earliest characters you can run into in that game is a robot that saves your life. And he talks with, like, one of these, you know, southern cowboy, western.
Why would you program a robot to speak like that?
I have no idea.
I thought it was charming.
I don't know. He was also programmed to show a cartoon cowboy face on his monitor. Fallout universe is dumb. And well, this is Spyro. We have platypus blowfish, so at this point, I think we should just stop questioning.
I also like that they're growing robotic carrots, like giant robotic carrots.
Oh wait, they're metal carrots?
Yep, there's also giant metal pumpkins later in the level.
You know,
you can see the screws.
You know, I can't remember exactly where, but I'm pretty sure that I've seen some kind of cartoon or something or other about robots where they also grew robotic vegetables.
So this is a level where the enemies are like in some way they're easier to kill if you use certain sort of special attacks. Like you had to use the headbutt to kill that one like roly-poly bug thing, and these flying ones are much easier to kill if you shoot the rock-looking thing at them. And then this gimmick from Spyro 1 returns where you have an enemy that rolls the exploding barrels at you and you have to charge the barrels back. That, I believe, was in one of the Gnasty levels.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I love how everybody just calls him Gnasty Gnork. Like, that's actually supposed to be how you pronounce his name.
That's how some of the characters say it in the dialogue.
It's more so that they're mocking him.
Yeah. But yeah, like in the opening cutscene, I think one of them says, like, you know, one of the dragons says, like, but what about Gnasty Gnork? So,
who cares about Gnasty Gnork?
Exactly.
He doesn't show up again ever, right? Like
I don't think so.
Nope. Ripto's the one who makes a ham-fisted appearance in Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. Actually, wait, I think Nasty show up in one of the GBA games? I can't remember. He might have. I know it's either him or the sorceress from Spyro 3 that they just kind of like shoehorned as the villain.
Yeah.
For the spin-off GBA games.
Oh man.
Just shoot it, Fox.
I'm nervous.
Just shoot it.
I'm working on it. There we go.
There you go. Took longer than I need to.
Seesaw physics.
I got nervous.
I'm starting to get nervous about you have 50-something lives.
I don't like bugs.
I remember back in the day when making 3D games, if you managed to get a seesaw to work vaguely realistically, it was some kind of technical accomplishment.
I want health. Where's that sheep?
You have 50-something lives and you just got a checkpoint. You're fine.
I know. I forgot that checkpoints are so forgiving in this game. Like I always forget that this game like has checkpoints. Because I don't die very often. Like, I think I've only died once on camera, and I realized, so in Scaleless Badlands, the whole gimmick of that level is the guy at the beginning is like, my cousin like bet me that you can't get through Skelos Badlands without getting scorched. And as long as you get to the end of the level, I guess you like they won the bet. You didn't get scorched, but I died in that level. I got scorched.
Doesn't count.
Nope.
Mulligan. And you gotta go all the way back around.
Yeah.
You know what bugs me about the running sound effect in this game? It doesn't even vaguely try to match your feet. It's just it's just sort of a scampering sound.
Saved it. Sort of.
Barely.
Yeah.
That was the most awkward recovery I've ever seen.
Yup, but it worked. Oh boy, there's a sealed chest here. That means we either have Supercharge or Super Flame.
Or a rocket.
Oh yeah, or spoilers, it's Supercharge.
Is
There
this
you
one
go.
as bad as the one in? Well, I guess it's not. Nothing's
No.
as bad as.
It's not quite as bad. It's
Nothing's as bad as Fracture Hills.
yeah. Oh, I hate this. This one's annoying.
Can you chase him down and flame him, Spyro?
Because
Oh,
so the
man.
bugs respawn. You have to like kill them all really fast, or yeah, that's why we have a jump cut. So you have to like, and the hit. It's really hard to hit them, at least for me.
So are you saying that you're Scrub Lord confirmed?
So
I'm saying that this mission really bugs me.
So I've been
Good job.
so I've been looking at these robot characters and they've looked really weird graphically to me and I couldn't put my finger on it until just now when we talked to that robot before this little thing, because it just occurred to me that they're like Virtua Fighter characters in terms of the polygons used.
Yeah, they're
I don't know,
very.
I mean, they look more like robots from Futurama.
Hold on. I need to get a better look at one to see.
Well,
what I think.
We'll see
yeah,
one
but
when I beat the mission.
I mean just the character model they used, because they've
Oh,
got like
I see it. I see it. It's very triangle-y polygons.
triangles and rectangles. Yeah.
And what I think is weird is they're so tall and lanky and humanoid compared to most of the other NPCs in this game, aside from like Alora and Hunter. But most of the other NPCs are like much shorter.
Yeah. It's just kind of weird to look at it like that because you like never see that kind of that kind of character model outside of Virtua Fighter and Retro Tekken. Like there are
Yeah.
probably some older 3D games that had that thing, but like even the really fugly ones, like the original Tomb Raider, they had something a little closer to the kind of polygons you see in this game, just a lower polygon count.
Just shoot it,
Yeah.
Fox.
Well, there isn't one of the shooting things very close, so I didn't want to backtrack again.
Oh, it is Fallout. You've got radioactive ooze.
Yeah.
I don't think Fallout has radioactive ooze. Well, I suppose if you do run into ooze, it will be irradiated, but that's not a unique property of the ooze. Basically, everything is irradiated.
Like, isn't the food you eat?
The food and the drink are irradiated. Sometimes you'll luck out and you'll find purified water somewhere that's had its radiation removed, but it's
How?
a rare commodity. They have a substance called Radaway, I think, that you can use, and like the plot of Fallout 3 eventually ends with this miracle invention that's designed to purify all the water in the Washington D.C. area.
Oh, let me guess. There's a moral ambiguity about whether or not you should turn it on or not.
No, Fallout 3 wasn't half that clever. It was all about a couple of vaguely defined factions fighting over who got to take credit for it.
Oh. Well, who gives a
That
shit?
sounds
Just-
like science.
Oh yeah, and then one faction that's clearly evil trying to use it to poison everyone instead.
No, that sounds like science. People fighting over who gets credit for some discovery or another.
Or never changes, except Fallout 3 was pretty flat about it compared to the other games. But it's still a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's just not as great at the storytelling and RPG aspect as the other Fallouts. The same holds true for Fallout 4.
I still need to
Armor
get.
down.
I need to get to Fallout one of these days. I'm not. Sure.
If you're gonna pick a starting point, my recommendation is New Vegas. It's got enough of what made the older Fallout games really remarkable without necessarily going back to the old style of play. Although if you do get Fallout 1 or possibly even when you get Fallout 2 on GOG, you also get the first 2 Elder Scrolls games as free bonuses.
Huh. Well, that's nice, I suppose.
I don't want to see my grandma scrolling through websites.
It's actually really funny, because I did some research about the original Elder Scrolls. Like, the game's called Arena, because it was originally just going to be a straight-up gladiator game. But partway through development, they realized that it was much more fun to, like, explore stuff. But they had already had the pre-release stuff made with it called Arena, and, like, people standing in arena with swords and stuff. So they quickly changed the title to The Elder Scrolls Arena, in order for it to kinda, sorta, stay relevant a little bit.
Yeah. Well, there is an arena in the Elder Scrolls, so
It's not lying.
yeah. In fact, like, whenever I play Oblivion, like, my first 2 full days of game time are just blitzing through the arena, because it's in the very first city that you go to in that game, and it's, like, the easiest way to get to get a bunch of money. And, like, you can actually use the specialized arena armor as a stand-in for actual decent armor during the early game without having to buy anything. It looks kind of stupid, but its stats are in the right place.
Kind of surprising to me that an RPG. I mean, I'm not as familiar with sort of Western RPGs, but it's surprising to me that a game would have an arena type thing that early in the game. I mean, the backstory of how Elder Scrolls became what it is, it makes more sense, but
well, it's
certainly not.
because you start the game right outside the main capital city of Cyrodiil's empire. Up until Morrowind, the Elder Scrolls games basically allowed you to travel all across the entire setting of the game series. Morrowind limited you to a smaller section because it was an actual 3D game with actually deliberately designed areas rather than procedural generation and stuff.
I see.
But because Oblivion takes place in Cyrodiil, and you started next to the capital city, you just had access to the arena as a consequence of where you were. The actual main plot wanted you to run off to another town pretty much right away, but even if you're role-playing, you might think, okay, if I'm going to go on this long journey across the country, maybe I should make some money and get some equipment first, and that gives you an excuse to go into town and do some
Oh,
side
you
quests.
missed it.
Ah! No, I can make it.
Ugh. Nice recovery.
Barely made it.
It's like bouncing on lava in Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
Oh, sheep.
There you are, Sparks.
Just magically appear.
Yup.
So, how many orbs do you need to get in this level?
There's 3 per level
Yep.
at most.
There's no some levels at 4.
Yeah.
This level, it's 1 for beating the level.
1 for the bugs, 1 for this, so I think it's
The one-
3.
Yep, it's 3 for this one. I think actually Metropolis might be the only level that has so close.
Do you have to
Metropolis might be
destroy
the
them
only level
all?
with 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some darn fool put these robot pumpkins
Oh, you were trying to go for that
in
there.
his path. Yeah.
That their thing, yes.
That there.
So
belted
when
up treasure chest.
so when you run out of stuff to buy from Moneybags, does the game stop checking for gems, or do you?
Well, gems are a collectible, so.
Yeah. So if you want 100%, like the gems are for money bags, but also for 100%.
Okay.
So yes, other than paying off money bags, there are not any checks for do you have X number of gems.
Oh, you were like an inch
Why?
away.
Well, no, I,
Well,
I
you're
somehow
no,
lost
you're
the
well,
supercharge.
because you let go of the square for like a split second.
Oh, okay. That's what I did.
The
So yeah, somehow this isn't quite as frustrating for me as Fracture Hills. I think it's just that you don't have to like, because
Well,
to
the
feel
path is very defined.
exactly. All right, so I changed my mind. I'm not going after that chest after all. Oh,
Well, I guess
I just banged off Zoe. Sorry.
Zoe's
got
the fairy,
frustrated.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Zoe's the little fairy.
Okay.
The only other game that I can think of that uses its collectible coins as an actual currency, but also rates you on collecting them all, is Jack and Daxter 1, where there's a finite amount of precursor orbs that you need to spend, and a finite amount of precursor orbs that you can pick up in every area. And the only real effect that getting all of the orbs in the game gets you is a pop-up on screen that lets you know when you collected all 2,000 precursor orbs.
and a trophy on the PS3 version.
Oh, is there a trophy for that in the PS3 version? Okay.
Yep.
I've never completed the HD edition, so
It's not really a currency in Banjo-Kazooie, but you do have to collect a certain amount of notes in 2E in order to unlock moves.
oh jeez, that was so close.
That turn is bad, and I'm bad at it.
Yeah, in Banjo 2E, you don't need to collect all of the notes in order to get the extra like bonus video for getting all the jiggies. So I guess if you didn't feel like it, you could leave some of them behind. But if you're going for 100% in that game anyway, I always go for all the notes. They're pretty easy to find anyway. I'd rather do that than I'd rather get all the notes in 2E than try to go for them all in Kazooie, especially if you're playing on the N64 version, where...
But Ted, you have to get 100%.
I know, I almost always... Well, I've never 100%ed Banjo-Kazooie, but I've gone... I always... I don't... Well, I played 2E first, and I don't like Kazooie as much, which I know puts me in the... Which makes me an oddity among Banjo fans, because most of them prefer the first game to the second game.
I mean, I played Spyro 3 first, but when I played Spyro 1 and 2, I still got 100 and 120% respectively.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I just didn't click with it. Banjo-Kazooie 1 is designed very differently. And it also has some weird things, like not having the ability to grab onto ledges, which is weird. I just didn't click with that game as much, you know? Also, when I was a kid, it took me forever to beat games, and there were several games I didn't beat, even though I played them all the time, until I was like a teenager. Like Kirby 64, I never beat that game until I was a teenager, even though I played it all the time when I was a young kid. Because I suck. I mean, because I was very distracted and just never got around to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah!
Can you not
Yeah,
fall
I think I
a distance?
No,
you can fall if
I
you
let
bonk
go.
into something. Yeah.
I must have let go or bumped off something.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Supercharged are always the most annoying challenges.
Yeah, Supercharge is challenging for sure.
It's these hairpin turns that really get me, because like you can't see what's coming, and then they make you jump.
Yep.
I'm guessing they bring these back in Spyro 3 as well.
Yep.
That's correct. They're like most challenges in Spyro 3, they're generally in some sort of like separate
area,
part of the level. Yes. So like there, I can think of 2 instances where you have to chase down a thief holding an egg. You have to use the supercharge to chase them down, and the thief is also moving extremely fast. Yeah, those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are more. And in that case, they're not gates, they're ramps. Like the entire ramp, as if you start charging on that ramp, you start supercharging. So I think that gives you a little more like, especially when you're chasing a thief around a circular path, it makes it easier because you don't have to go to like the start line to start. You know, if you fall off, like if you lose the thief, you can just kind of figure out where he is and start near him. If that makes sense.
I think I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like it's not like this where I have to go all the way over here just to start the supercharge. I could start at any point And yeah, I was just trying to get those last gems.
Robotica Farm's complete. I love the little jingle.
Somehow
that
I
you get.
knew that I knew that purple gem you kept running past was going to hold you up.
Yep. Because I was trying to, like, it just wasn't worth. It didn't feel like it was worth stopping when I just wanted to clear the path and get that orb. But yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
have to go back for it, and the only way to reach that platform is to like supercharge. Start with the supercharge at least, because you can't climb that ramp. With a normal charge, the ramp is too steep, and Spyro can't climb it. It treats it like a wall.
Ah. They're testing out their bug zapper.
Yep.
This game's morbid.
Yes, it is.